I wouldn't say it was love at first sight. In fact, I would say the opposite. But with time, you grew on me. Now you're the first thing on my mind when I wake up, and frankly, I can't go to sleep. I love how your cocoa skin glistens in the light. I love how when I'm hot, you cool me off, and when it's cold and unbearable, you're always there to warm me up. But lately, my thoughts have been all over the place. My emotions have been blended and stirred, and the only thing that remains the same is how I feel about you. Maybe with time, your shape may change, but what's inside will remain the same. You see, it wasn't love at first sight, but love at first sip.